In the ancient realm of Valorum, where the crystal palace rose as a S-hatted star beneath a firmament shrouded in storm's relentless wrath, Queen Meghan stood solitary in the sanctum of fractured light. Her robes, woven from the deepest hues of twilight's grief, flowed like a river of sorrow over marbly veined with frost's delicate sigils, her coronet a crown of thorns upon a brow scarred by fate's unyielding hand. The air was heavy with the mournful scent of fading star petals, entwined with the bitter pang of broken oaths, as if the palace's sacred stones keened for a kingdom poised on the edge of ruin. Through ages of ceaseless strife, her lineage from distant shores, a false vision of Prince Harry's betrayal, her sire's damning oracles through the scrying orbs, Tyler Perry's 86 scrolls of accusation, a woven lie of sound, the celestial network's rejection of her as ever dream, her mother Doria's piercing claims, Jessica Mulrooney's treachery, the Order's inquisition, a breached accord with the king, whispers of blackmail, Harry's solitary pilgrimage to Anglia, and his branding as Meghan's fool. The threads of Valorum's destiny had frayed to tatters. Now, a wound sharper than any blade had pierced the realm's heart. Prince William, the iron-willed heir to the throne, had wielded the names of Meghan's heirs, Archie and Lilibet, as a spear to deliver a harsh message to her #soul. The kingdom's orbs blazed with public outcry, their voices a tempest of fury, naming Meghan a queen scorned, her dream of unity #solving like starlight before dawn. Alone, she bore the weight of this betrayal, our spirit a lone ember trembling in the storm. The palace, once a bastion of celestial hope, now stood as a crypt of seeth whispers, its crystalline arches trembling with the orb's venomous cry. Prince William YLDS the heirs to wound the queen, leaving Valorum to fate's mercy. This night, Meghan sought to tread the sacred path to the Starstone's crypt, a Q#ST, to rekindle its divine radiance, and heal the land's barren hearty. Her soul, scarred by betrayals, Disara's cryptic omens, Vera's visions of twilight, Morgana's forbidden rites, Kalitha's riddles, Seraphina's ancien #T tomes, Thalion's radiant gems, Elindra's prophecies of doom, Voltha's unveiled truths, Zoratha's reliquaries of power, Lysandra's locket of souls, Celine's orb of celestial light, Vera's amulet of truth, Thalira's crystal of sky song, Lysera's scroll of lore, Zorathine's mirror of shadows, Silvara's chalice of blood, Eloria's orb of dreams, Ilarion's orb of fate, Thalandir's citer of vows, Viondra's scepter of oaths, Silthera's talisman of truth, quailed beneath is new torment. William's act, using Archie and Lilibet to send a message of defiance, was seen by the council as a woe-un to their shared destiny. The court sages, their eyes gleaming like sharpened ice, wove tales of Meghan's failure, naming her the architect of this rift. King Charles, a sovereign cloaked in silence, stood as a #knowleth of judge me and his heart closed to her pleas. Meghan's hands rested upon a shrine etched with constellations long forgotten, her emerald gaze clouded by a storm of anguish and uni #yielding resolve. William's use of her children's names cut deeper than any blade, their innocence, once her guiding stars, now a weapon turned against her. She recalled their last communion in the palace's grove of eternal pyre, where frost wove a delicate veil and Harry's eyes, green as verdant springs, held a shadowed vow. I will shield them, though the world tear us apart. Had her struggles driven this wedge? Or had unseen hands orchestrated this cruel act? The orbs sang of William's bold decree, invoking Archie and Lilibet to assert his authority, their words kindling a firestorm of voices. Some cried treachery, others righteous fury, but all saw Meghan as the target. Whispers of a traitor's and threading disc #awed through their family, haunted her haunts. Who had guided William's hand? The Q-Stion burned like a pyre within her soul. A herald, breathless and cloaked in frost, breached the sanctuem's stillness, his voice a trembling note in the symphony of fate. O Queen, a missive from the shadowed quarter. A seer of Eldoria awaits at the Vale of Ashes Inn, bearing knowledge of Prince William's act against you. Your guards stand ready for your decree. The tidings fell like a Siamet spark into the darkness. Trut H. Could it mend the riven threads of her heart, or bind them in deeper despair? Meghan's spirit stirred with fragile hope, though the sanctum's shadows seemed to weave a shroud about her. She lifted her gaze, her coronet a sigil of her riso lve, and spoke with the weight of queens. Lead me to this seer. She glided through a hidden passage, her robes a whisper of night upon the cold stone, each tepid defiance of her sorrow. The carriage bore her swiftly through Valorum's frost-wreathed streets, past lanterns flickering like dying tars and stalls shuttered against the night. The clatter of hooves sang in harmony with her heart's unquiet rhythm. She recalled the dawn of their Ain, Harry's beau LD spirit, their shared vision of a Valorum united. He #our oath to transcend her foreign blood. Yet the scandals, each a thread in the Starstone's shadowed fate, had bound her in chains of doubt. William's use of Archie and Lilibet, woven by a heart of iron, had spun their family into a tale of fracture. The veil of ashes rose before her, its ancient timbers aglow with ethereal light, the air thick with frost and the murmurs of secrets. Meghan drew her hood close, her steps swift as she wove off the tavern's haze, heedless of the gazes from those cradling their spiced wine. She ascended the narrow stairs to the chamber named by the herald, her heart a drumbeat of dryad and hope. She thrust open the door without pause. A figure stood by a hearth where embers danced like fallen stars, cloaked in obsidian silk, their visage veiled by a hood, their hands cradling a radiant amulet inscribed with runes of power. The chamber thrummed with a stillness born of destiny, William's a wound in the very air. Meghan's soul quailed beneath the weight of her children's invocation. Her voice, sharp as a blade forged in starfire, clove the silence. You claim to hold the truth of William's use of my heirs. Speak, lest I deem these shadows but an other deceit. The figure unveiled their face, revealing features carved by time's unyielding hand, their topaz eyes gleaming with the light of distant stars. I am Zorwin, they intoned, their voice a melody of ancient flames. I am a fatebinder of the veil, guardian of Valorum's sacred destinies. I come to unveil the truth of Prince William's act. Meghan's gaze sharpened, her voice quavering with the ache of loss. He used Archie and Lilibet to wound me. The orbs see #RY treachery. What truth can mend thy's wound? Zorwin lifted the amulet, its radiance casting shadows that danced like specters of forgotten gods. This is a fatebinder's amulet, they declared. It reveals truths woven into the fabric of heart and crown. William's act was guided by a traitor, foretold by Desara, Vera, and their kin, who cast a spell to sway his will, using your heirs to drive a wedge between you and the through any, seeking to #claim the Starstone. They drew forth a parchment, its edges rhymed with frost and pulsing with sigils of power. This parchment, wrested from the traitor's sanctum, unveils their design, to wield you #our children's names, isolate you, and seize the STR's tone. Harry stands in Anglia, seeking the Vale's elders to break the spell and guard your heirs, the lights of Valorum. Meghan's eyes flared, her voice be #reeking with hope and anguish. A spell. They used my children to tear us apart, yet you say Harry fights for us. After the council's venom, the network's betrayal, and the orb's lies, how can I trust this truth? Her heart, worn by so #row, trembled with doubt. Had she misjudged the bonds that held them? Zorwin's topaz eyes burned with unwavering resolve. The Starstone's crypt lies beneath the palace. You are dead by snares only a royal may unravel. The traitor knows you draw near their secret. You must enter the crypt to preserve Valorum, and Harry shall return when the spell is undone. Meghan clasped her coronet, her duty a beacon in the dark. William's act, the court's venom, her pain, they would bide. Valorum's fate hung in the balance. Lead on, she December #lart. He our voice avow.as. She departed the inn, the frost parted, revealing a moon that cast shadows long and treacherous. The traitor lingered in the darkness, their visage yet veiled, but Meghan's will shone brighter than he our sorrow. The Starstone, and Valorum's destiny, rested in her hands.